Yeah.
What up, y'all? Undaground Mindz Tymez.
Jraw.
First episode. Jraw and Bucy. You know how we're doing. We're gonna start bringing this to you once a week. Undaground Mindz Tymez.
We're just gonna talk a little bit about some shit that's going on, shit in the underground music scene. Just, you know, whatever, just kind of our opinions on shit. Shit that's going on with us. Just whatever, man. Eventually we'll have some people in here, maybe have guests, have some other opinions, see how it goes. But right now, you know, we're just gonna start out, you know, talk a little bit about Tech 9. Tech's got a new CD coming out in June. All 6s and 7s. Big anticipation. He's got a lot of mainstream artists on this one, which I think is gonna make him. I think it's gonna bring the underground out a little more. I think the underground is gonna start taking over the mainstream. It's gonna be kind of like underground's gonna be huge like mainstream is, but nobody's gonna be getting paid like mainstream does. You know what I mean? Shit like that. That's how I see it.
I see it reaching out, making underground artists on a whole new level, bringing fans of mainstream music back to real music, like Tech. Fuck all this stupid bullshit mainstream music. Like Tech said in his interview, a lot of people want to say, oh, Tech's gonna go mainstream and this and that, because he's working with these artists like Wayne and Snoop and all them, you know. But just like Tech said, fuck that, the mainstream's going Tech. So I see it as bringing a lot more attention to underground music than underground music going mainstream.
Like the whole thing with like underground, you know, everybody in the underground is mainly about the music and shit. Everybody in the mainstream is about the money. I mean, of course you want to make money and shit, but you know, underground, they'll take fans over money any day. Mainstream, you know, they don't tour as much, they don't do a lot, and they don't do a lot. They'll be asleep in the hotel room while all their shit's getting booked for them. You know, while all their posters are getting hung, while their concerts are getting promoted, they're sleeping. A lot of them, you know. Underground artists, most of them are out doing all that shit, hanging up posters, getting shit printed, you know, getting online. You know, like you know, we don't have nobody to get online and type shit on our Facebook for us. You know, we do all that shit, so we gotta find time to do that shit. You know, underground, that's just how it is, you know. I mean, everybody's into it a lot more.
Hard workers. You grind. It's all about the grind. Most underground artists don't have people helping them. They're independent. But I think it's a fine line between mainstream and, not in mainstream and underground, but underground and independent. A lot of people like to think of independent artists as being underground, but not necessarily. I mean, who was it that played at that Tech show? Who watched on Ustream or whatever, that they won that Woody? They're an independent group.
I don't remember, man.
It starts with a C. I don't know. Anyways, he's independent, but he just won a Woody, and it was a really big hit he had that most people would say it was a mainstream song, but he's independent. So,
well, I mean, shit, it's kind of like, you know, like Bun B, you know, Pimp C before he died and shit. I mean, you know, they've been around forever, you know, like Dayton Family, you know, just now got on Psychopathic and shit. They've been around forever, and a lot of people still, if you said, hey man, check out Dayton Family, people don't even know who they are. You know what I mean? And look at some of these people like, you know, like Nicki Minaj or something, you know, that hadn't even been out hardly forever, that long. I mean, they might have been out for a long time, but they come out mainstream and everybody in America knows. You say his name and everybody knows who the fuck it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just one of them deals, man. I mean, underground, you're just, it's tough. I mean, you gotta grind hard and you gotta do it all yourself pretty much. You ain't got people doing it for you, you know?
It's all about the love of music for me, and a lot of underground artists, you don't do it just to get paid. I mean, I think of that someday, if, you know, that happens, I think of it just being like a bonus for all the work you put into it, all the money you put in, you start getting back. But it's when you get to a point where that's all you're concerned about is making money, having jewelry and cars, and most of the stuff you hear people rap about anymore. You know,
and a lot of underground artists work together and shit. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, you might reach out to somebody that's big in the underground and be like, "Hey, you want to do a collab?" And they might be like, "Oh, hell yeah, man!" And it might be nothing, or it might cost very little. You know. I mean, everybody's pretty much cool in the underground. Everybody's willing to work with everybody. Everybody's willing to put on shows. You know, but it's just one of them deals, man. It's just everybody's out there trying to make it, you know. So there's a lot of people out there, and you know, we're just doing this shit. We like doing this shit. It's not like we're trying to get famous. We're not trying to fucking, you know, we're not nothing. We just like to do this shit, you know. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there like us that are just trying to get out there, you know, do as much as you can. You know, it's hard because, you know, we don't have a lot of time to get out there like we should, you know. I mean, unless you have the time and the schedule, like if you're not working and you can do it, it's hard, you know. I mean, it's hard to do all this shit, so crazy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, back on tech, Strange music, you know, they're taking over shit, man.
Strange is blowing.
Strange and Funk Volume right now blowing up. Hops and Swizz.
And Strange has been around for a long time, and I have a feeling, you know, honestly, it's gonna be another like Eminem thing for me. You know, Eminem dropped Recovery, and Love the Way You Lie just brought so many like mainstream fans to Eminem.
And this tech CD is gonna bring a lot of mainstream people to tech.
And I have a feeling a lot of them will be like, yeah, dude, Tech 9, this and that, but it's like,
and it might be good, and it might not. You know what I mean? I mean, this All 6 and 7's tour, you know, I mean, it's going to have a lot of people that don't know tech start coming to shows, and they're going to be at a show with people that have been down for 20 years, you know?
Ever.
And it just depends. Sometimes people unite, and sometimes people can't get along because, you know, it's just like the Juggalo thing, you know? You fucking, you got a newbie, someone that's just getting into ICP, and someone that's been in with ICP for 20 years, and they just don't like it, you know. I don't give a fuck. If somebody's into it, they're into it. But there's some people that are just, they will not let you, you know, they don't like new people coming in and liking shit, you know, so.
I think, in my opinion on that, like you said, I don't care if they like it, that's cool, you know. But it's when they like that person just for that. It's when they don't take the time to go back and look at all of their old shit, you know?
Right.
Like, I have a feeling, like a lot of people on Love the Way You Lie, that brought them to Eminem. And his older shit, in my opinion, people who have heard his older shit, was so much better. But then I'd introduce people to his older shit and be like, what the fuck is this?
It's like ICP, you know? Everybody's always, like, griping about how their newest shit's just not that good. Well, of course, when you've been doing music that long, your shit's, it's going to change a little bit. You can't do the same shit for 20 years, you know? So either way, I mean, it's just one of them deals where it's just like in anything. You just, sometimes you can't win, you know? I mean, it's just anything. It don't matter. You could be the very best sports team ever, and you're going to have people hate you. I mean, it's just how it is. You can't please everybody.
It's like the Lakers, man.
Right.
They're number one.
But look at them. They go on like a losing streak or something, and then everybody's on their ass. You know, I mean, that's just how it is. You know, they got the best player, but it's one of the things, man. You can't please everybody. I mean, look at LeBron James, you know. He's back in Cleveland tonight playing.
They're playing in Cleveland tonight?
Yeah, they played in Cleveland tonight. And, you know, everybody hates him and shit, but look how long they loved him.
Right.
You know, but now they hate him in Cleveland because he left.
And it's a fine line between, like, parting ways and venturing into uncharted territory that somebody like Tech 9 going into this All 6s and 7s, you know, he really hasn't had an album anticipated this much to be so big as it's, you know, supposedly gonna be because of all the artists on it and how big of a status they are. But it's a fine line between going into new territories and supposedly selling out. I mean, there's artists all through music, sports, you know, that people say sold out. I mean, Metallica, people said they sold out with Enter Sandman, but Enter Sandman was badass, and I guarantee those same people that say they sold out jam out to it on Guitar Hero and shit. You know? So
a lot of people like people too, and they just don't admit it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people in the underground that like mainstream people, but they're embarrassed to tell people, "Hey, man, you know, I'm into Lil Wayne. You know, I really like him." Just because, you know, that's just one of those things. For some reason, in the underground, you're not supposed to like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
And if someone does like him, they're afraid. You know, they're afraid to be like, "Hey, I like Lil Wayne," you know, because a lot of people don't like that shit. So it's one of the things, man. You gotta be yourself. You know, like what you like, don't like what you like. Who gives a fuck what other people think? You know, if you like us, you like us. If you don't, you think we're fucking two white boys that crawled out of the cornfields. I mean, whatever. You know, maybe we did crawl out of the cornfields. You know, I don't know, man. My mom fucked in the cornfield and had me. You know, maybe I fucking had corn stalks coming out my ass, you know, when I was born. So who knows? I don't know. Anything's possible, man. Anything's possible, you know. Just because we're fucking white don't mean, you know, we can't do this shit, you know. It's one of them deals. I mean,
it's all right here. It's the heart in it, and you know, if you got the drive for it and stuff, like, I'm not gonna let anybody stop me because of what they think of me.
Right.
As long as I'm doing it for me and myself. But I also do it for other people, you know, because music helped me through a lot of shit, so I feel like I want to give back to it, but at the same time, I'm doing it to make myself happy. And when you do something to make yourself happy...
Right. You know, people always like, you know, it's not hard, you know, it's easy, you know, anybody can rap. Well, you know,
bullshit.
It's not easy. You know, I don't even consider myself that great, really. It's hard.
Right.
When you're writing to a beat, or you're writing and then putting your music to a beat and shit, that's not easy. I don't care if it's country music,
the beat,
anything. I don't care what it is. It's not easy.
The themes, the concepts, the deliveries, the flows, the lyrics, the voice.
You know, and then you got like people on YouTube doing parodies, or they suck. You know, 50 Tyson, fucking, you know, people like that, and they blow up and become famous for being bad. You know, and then you got people like us, which, you know, there's people way, way more on the grind than we are that still haven't made it. And they're out there on the grind every day and not making it, but yet you got somebody that's just fucking around on YouTube and they got 3 million views in a week and shit, and they're on Ellen and they're fucking just blowed up because they were bad. You know, that makes us look bad. I think that makes music look bad when you got all these, you know, Rebecca Black and shit blowing up and shit because they're bad. I mean,
the industry looks horrible right now.
You know, I mean, you got anybody and everybody out there writing